The North East has a drink problem, and the worst part is teenagers are drinking more than anywhere else in the country. There are double the national average of under 18s in treatment for drink-related problems.
I started drinking at 11.
I just need to stop. I just didn't know how. Like, the way I'm talking now, right, it's like, I need help.
In places like Newcastle and Sunderland, kids are drinking on the streets and in remote, dangerous areas.
But we need to wait for them and now getting back. To get the drink back.
I'm drinking. What do you think in mugs?
Over 3 years, more than 1,500 minors were admitted to hospital for excessive drinking.
You sure we haven't been drinking? You're a bit wobbly there, mate. All the time as a youth worker, that's the first time I've came across a 12-year-old drinking.
But there is help. Youth worker Phil Tighe is working on the front line fighting back against the drink epidemic.
Come here, mate. I'm wasting my time, we'll just go on, mate.
You can't succeed all of the time, you can't win them all.
Oh, I just leave it all in me.
Even if you just change one young person's life, then you've made a difference.
In this film, we'll follow Phil and ask teenagers face-to-face why they start so early and drink so much.
I think it's like you just get pissed to like forget about everything. And I think that's why people take it a bit too far sometimes.
Most young'uns these days just drink to be happy.
It's coming up to 7:25, so whose responsibility is it to educate children about alcohol?
And as the North East has the highest rates of alcohol misuse by young people in the country, are we doing enough?
Young people's relationship with alcohol is a worrying issue in the North East. The region has the country's highest percentage of 11 to 15-year-olds drinking. The summer months see a peak in teenage street drinking. In Silksworth, Sunderland, a youth group called Youth Almighty are fighting to stamp out underage drinking in that community. Phil Tighe and a group of volunteers set up the youth centre 7 years ago as a place kids could go to keep away from outdoor drinking. Phil's lived in the North East all his life, and he's seen a change in the amounts of drink young people are consuming.
The quantities of alcohol drinking is greater. In the past you had young lads who would drink cans and young girls would drink Bella and wine, but increasingly we're seeing more spirits and especially vodka.
In July there were 217 youngsters who came into the centre, but they are determined to get more in. Phil has a team of 14 youth workers.
There's been a group of young people drinking in here tonight.
Right, we'll
supposedly they're over
They
there.
go out every Friday and Saturday night and encourage young drinkers to come into the centre. Phil has heard about a group of teenagers who are drinking at a local hangout called Barnes Park. He's heading there to try and find them.
There is some really younger ones within that group, 12, 13-year-old. There's females within the group. It's dark, it's unlit, security would be home by this time of night. Some of the group have been drinking. The vulnerability element around the females drinking is a worry.
Working with them from a young age is important for Phil, as research shows young teenage drinkers are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependency than a young adult over 21.
We'll actually make an offer to them, actually open the centre just for them. That's how actually concerned we are as a project for that particular group. There's lots and lots of people. She's doing something dodgy. There's people all over.
Just driving around, there are groups of kids hanging about on the streets everywhere.
Who was it?
Jordan and all that from Barnes.
Well, that's a bonus.
Phil spotted the group of young teenagers he's been looking for.
And the girls are at the back.
Okay.
I don't know who's in between.
Jordan.
He's got a bag on his back, you know. Potentially drinking the bag. You're not talking, like. I'll park the car up over there and I'll come back across.
Where you going?
I'm just going to come and talk to you, so I'll park the car over there. Oh, what's the matter? Eh?
Bethany, Courtney, Megan and Jordan are between 13 and 15 years old, and Phil wants to check if any of them have been drinking.
We've been looking for you, because we're saying that we'll open the...
You've been looking for
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes. What we're saying is that we'll open the youth club for yous. Just yous on a Tuesday night, is that right? Just for yous. Nobody else. Just yous. Have you not had a drink? No? Well, that's good if you haven't had a drink. Where have you been then? Have you? Yours as well? So if we come down and meet us, will you meet us tomorrow?
When?
Where are you going tomorrow? Because I'll come and see you. You're drinking tomorrow? Well, we'll still come and talk to you.
You come on session.
So where are you having your session? In the park? Right, so where are you going in the park tomorrow?
I don't know.
We'll see you in there then, and we'll talk to you about how we'll pick you up and get you there every week and that.
We need to walk.
I will.
Okay, bye.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Bye.
See you then.
Phil's pleased that the kids have told him that they haven't been drinking and that they're up for coming into the centre. But as he leaves, he gets a call alerting him to another group of teens, this time young female drinkers.
We've got a team within the centre that are picking up intelligence from Facebook. What they're telling us is that it's potentially vulnerable females at Tunstall Hills drinking. And so we'll go and have a look. We'll identify who is, who isn't having a drink. We'll try and work with those that aren't having a drink and just really have a cast an eye on those if there is anyone under the influence, just really to make sure that they're safe. We're going to meet the other team there for safety. We'll meet them there now. Yeah, we've definitely got young people heading towards the Venerable Beach School. Just phoning another team that spotted a group heading that way, another group. That's what it looks like.
We'll meet you there, we'll go 5 minutes.
Tell them to meet us on the estate. You can see this area, and the reason why young people head over to this area, it is absolutely pitch black. Completely dark, no street lights, no nothing. We're seeing groups of young people heading this way. We'll just park here. Kids will come to this area because of the darkness. It is very dark. It's off of the main streets. It's away from the estates. The chances of really the police coming to this particular area is remote.
Police will confiscate alcohol and can arrest underage drinkers on the street. So the young people are finding more and more places off the beaten track to remain undetected.
You can never predict what's going to happen. Then, does it? Alcohol in adults are unpredictable, so in young people it can be even more unpredictable. Are you sirens heading to Tunstall? No. Are you someone? Let's go around properly. Shh. Listen.
After half an hour of searching, Phil isn't giving up. He wants to make sure the girls he can hear out in the dark are safe.
We can hear young people, we just can't. We've been in the regular places where they've previously been, but just can't find them anywhere. They know we're out. They definitely know we're out, don't they? It's really important that we do try and track down this particular group of young people. There is vulnerable girls amongst them, so we're really keen. We've come this far tonight. It's 9:20, but we really do want to try and track them down and give them the advice that they need to. They definitely need to be out of this area, and especially as it starts getting later and later and later. We'll have one look further down at the bottom. We'll head towards the line. If there's no one there, then we'll just head back.
After nearly an hour, Phil comes across a group of 16 and 17-year-olds who look like they're drinking.
There's someone there now. You all right?
Aye.
Just having a drink?
Having a little shit like you didn't mind, like.
You're not right, yeah? You're having a wildie in the tree.
He's having a wildie, Jamal.
No problem. I'm desperate, like. Hey, bother.
They're not the group of girls he's looking for, but Phil takes the chance to talk to them.
You all right?
No,
it's not the place, youth workers.
Oh, all right.
You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Have you had a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, you kind of come up to her and I'll have a drink, man.
No.
What's a fire engine being for? We heard that.
Because
Been setting fires?
yeah, you got to keep warm somehow.
One of the teenagers is very drunk and becomes abusive.
Just come to see if he's all right.
Well, what's it got to do with you? Well, I'm fucking just saying that. I give a fuck what you think, you mugs.
You didn't think out, man.
It can be quite scary as a youth worker. Your mind's always thinking, oh, this could happen, that could happen, someone could get hurt.
Phil moves in to calm the situation down.
Well, we're somewhere else and we could hear loads of people shouting. We thought there was something the matter, so we'll come to make sure you're safe and you're all right.
I'm safe, I'm all right. I'm drinking Coke Zero. Oh, just smile here.
It's not Coke Zero, it's Bacardi, you can smell it.
Bacardi, it's Jack Daniels, man.
Right, I'm going to leave you anyway.
I'll catch you in a bit.
So why are we still standing here? Let's go on a fucking session, man.
Despite the darkness, they are still keen to find the group of girls who are out drinking.
It's quiet, isn't it?
But you can hear while you're
I know. Just got no idea.
After an hour of searching, they head back to the centre.
And then we'll shoot off. One group of young females where we'd get an intelligence from Facebook that they were in a particular area. When we got there, we haven't managed to track them down, so that's a bit sad that we haven't tracked them down. The issues around young females, the vulnerability issues around when they're potentially going away from parks and on street corners and things on the way home. I think that's our biggest concern amongst all of the staff. Educating them in the dangers of that is really, really important for projects like ours.
Barnes Park is a popular underage drinking spot that Youth Almighty focus on during the summer months.
Stash it the day before, get it the next day so it's nice and chilled off the weather, you know.
Deborah works with Phil at the centre. She's one of the longest serving members of the team and she's a trained counsellor.
What about you, girls? I think I'll talk to you, girls, because this is not being as serious. The lads are a bit wild. So from your perspective, how old are you, first of all?
14.
You're 14. So when you go home from here, how do your parents react? Do they know you're drinking?
No, sober before
sleep out or sober up before you get home.
Right. I'm a bit of a chatterbox anyway. So basically we're going to introduce ourselves and then just, you engage in a conversation about what the weather's like, what you've been up to, where have you been tonight. And you tend to just build up a relationship like that. Obviously, once you've got some trust, then you can start engaging in the smoking, the sexual health, the alcohol. But if you went in there guns blazing at first, it's like, oh, the devil's this, and they'd walk away. Can I ask you why you started to drink? What was the purpose of it? Why did you do it?
I don't even drink a lot, it's just peer pressure to fit in. That's all it is, it's just peer pressure, and I don't think if everybody else was saying, oh, it's so uncool to drink and stuff, then I probably wouldn't do it. Like,
if you came out with your friends, would you ever choose not to drink?
Yeah, like I do sometimes think like, oh, I'll just miss this week and stuff. Like it's just all about fitting in if you're smaller. It's right. Like if there's always that one person in the group that takes it the extra mile and like they go over the top, and that's when you get told off by people. Whereas like if you're sitting quietly somewhere and like having like drinks with your friends and stuff, then you're all right, I suppose. Yeah. It's just a stage thing that you go through, to be honest. We're not even like the biggest crowd, like we do nothing compared to like some people. Like some people like get drunk every other day, and some people have to be put in hospital every weekend to get the stomach pumped and stuff. Like that's just ridiculous.
Debs leaves Abigail with information about her local youth centre and continues with her rounds.
What we'll do is we'll cover this area, cross the bridge, check if there's anybody up the top end, right, and then just have a bit look about and see who else is out. Have a wander. Yeah.
As they continue further into the park, they see two very young boys. One of them looks like he's passed out.
So how long you've been out and about?
All day, really.
Have you?
Aye.
Can I smell alcohol, mate? Yeah?
Huh?
Can I smell alcohol?
No.
I think I can, like.
He hasn't been drunk enough.
Have you had a bit to drink or not?
No.
Do you mix with any of them that's drinking or not?
No.
No? Have you had a bit to drink or not?
I'm 14, he's 12.
And you sure you haven't been drinking?
I am
You're a
sure.
bit wobbly there, mate. I think you're just having me on, aren't you?
No.
No?
Debs is trying as quickly as she can to work out if this is an emergency. The boy seems out of it, and he's only giving one-word answers.
Anything else you've been doing you shouldn't have been, or not?
No.
You're absolutely soaking, aren't you?
From the stream.
Do you know at school, do you get discussed much about alcohol and safe limits and...
And like doing stuff that you didn't really want to do. Could lead you to like commit suicide and stuff.
And it's exactly right, you know, and it's important that you have people to talk to about it if people are getting you into drinking. I must admit, mate, I am a bit worried about you.
Debs makes sure the boy is safe and help is on its way before she leaves.
Thank you very much for that, lad. So your brother will come up, get you some change of clothes and get you sorted, hey? Yeah? Because he's looking after you and doesn't want you to go into bother. All right? So watch what you're doing. See you later.
See you later.
If I'd came across him and he did not engage in any way, shape or form, like he didn't, I would have had an ambulance round. That's the first time I've came across a 12-year-old drinking, if he was drinking. You know, I think between both of us we're thinking he possibly has had.
Yeah, he probably...
But whether he was like lying, over-exaggerating it and then thought, oh, if I just stop down here, they'll not.
Yeah, they're not gonna...
They'll just leave us a be. It worries us massively, you know. I'm a mum at the end of the day as well as being a youth worker. I wouldn't like it to be my 12-year-old.
Underage drinkers are starting in their pre-teens. A study has shown that 40% of 13-year-olds who have drunk alcohol had experienced negative consequences, including smoking, taking drugs, and unprotected sex. What might start out as just harmless fun can have a massive impact on the life of a young child. It's Saturday afternoon and the group of youngsters from Barnes that Phil is trying to get off the streets and into the centre are all heading out to a local park. Megan, Courtney, Niall and Jordan are all between 13 and 15. They're best mates and spend all their free time together.
Kids, you know, drinking and teenagers, is it something that does actually happen, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Too much.
How young are some of them that are drinking?
Like 12, 13.
Year 7s and
Like
that.
year 7s to year like whatever.
Just got into secondary school.
And then they go down drinking and stuff like that.
What is there here for kids, you know, teenagers, people your age to do?
Nothing.
Nothing, that's why people drink.
I think that is why people drink, to be honest with you. Because there's nothing to do and like there's nowhere open and that.
Scooter. And like most youth clubs are like closed. Because they closed all the youth clubs in Newcastle, didn't they?
13-year-old Niall has recently stopped drinking.
I don't drink, I put my mates down now. No.
So why don't you drink?
Yeah, Mum, I promised my mum that I wouldn't drink anymore. So I haven't drank for like 3 weeks. Since like my mum told us often. I was out on like in the street drinking and that, and I was riding my bike home and I fell off and I had to go to hospital and that overnight and that. But that's it really, and like just not let her drink anymore. Well, not that I was allowed, just that I'm not gonna drink anymore, so I don't really like it. But these drinking that. Not big drinkers, but they're like they drink socially, if you know what I mean, like out and about and drinking all the time. Like not all the time, like weekends and that. And that's it really.
What's the plan tonight, do you think?
Just probably messing about, walking about with Barnes and that. Barnes Park.
On the move! Go, go, go.
Bored and with nothing to do, they wander off to the park. For a young person growing up in the region, there are a lack of employment opportunities. 1 in 4 are currently out of work. And the North East continues to be one of the most deprived areas in England. In the face of these challenging circumstances, the team at Youth Almighty aim to get teenagers into the centre and focused on their futures. But before they can even start working with the teens, they have to set the ground rules. No weapons, and you can't come in drunk.
Come on, stop. No, well over the drink drive limit. We do random searching of young people. We check to make sure that they don't come into the site with weapons or drink or drugs, so that we can always say that this is a place of safety.
The majority of kids who attend the youth centre don't drink and stick to the rules. But tonight, Phil's heard that a couple of 14-year-old girls in the centre have been drinking.
Come here. Have you had a drink?
No.
So you don't mind getting breathalyzed?
No.
Eh?
No.
Oh, well then. Have you been drinking?
No.
Right, are you ready? Go on, Caitlin. Yeah. Twice over the drink drive limit. Here's a present. Don't come back. That girl needs to leave. That girl needs to leave.
Can I wait for these?
No. See you later.
Wait outside.
Just a count even if you've had a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see.
You're gonna see.
Will I get barred?
Yeah.
Shall I go then?
Mm-hmm. Disappointed but proud of the young people that they alerted us before the staff did, to be fair. So I'm proud of the kids. They know what's acceptable and know what's not.
Phil keeps a tally on teenagers who come into the centre drunk.
Yeah, we're just putting a marker on the system so when they do come in, it flashes up and alerts the staff that they're not allowed back in until at least I've had a discussion with them.
One of the 14-year-old girls who's been excluded from the centre calls a youth worker to ask if she can come back in. She's told that she'll have to attend a 6-week alcohol awareness course. The girl arrives for a one-to-one with youth worker Stevie. She wants to remain anonymous.
Yeah. I'll let you do that one-to-one with you in a minute. I'm just basically going to talk to you today, though.
After the session, Stevie catches up with Phil.
I just want to get some feedback on how it went.
It was very positive. She could have went and had a drink with her friends, but she chose to come here.
What about the night she did come? What's the reasoning around that?
She was saying like it was just peer pressure, all her friends are bored, so they were just bored and ended up having a drink. But her mum does go in the shop for her as well, so it's quite easy for her to get alcohol.
For me, I don't think there's any value in us spending a lot of time if a mum is going to continue to buy alcohol and think that's acceptable for her.
It's easy access, isn't it?
A mum definitely needs to understand some of the boundaries, and us doing the work around that and then a mum going out and buying it at the weekend just isn't the answer. Definitely. So will you concentrate on that with her and try and get some consent to speak to her mum?
Yeah.
Just try and understand what that's about.
Definitely.
It's good news that the girl has signed up to the alcohol awareness course, but now Phil has to persuade her mum to stop buying her alcohol.
There is an issue in some parents buying alcohol for young people. It's a battle anywhere engaging with young people and educating them around the effects of alcohol that can have on their life. For parents to be supporting and accepting that that's what their young people are going to do. Very disappointing from my point of view.
A recent nationwide survey found that teenagers mostly got alcohol from their parents and relatives. The research also found that nearly 2/3 of 11 to 15-year-olds who drank usually did so at home.
The social differences now of parents and families drinking at home, young people do see that, and unfortunately some young people do see that as being normal.
In South Shields, 18-year-old Laura often has her friends over to her mum's house on the weekends. Laura's mum, Mila, has allowed her kids to drink in her home since they were 15. She feels it's the safest option.
I don't want my kids standing on street corners making a nuisance of themselves to other people. I'd rather them here in their own home making a nuisance of their own home where I'm here to control them. But from them being 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, we have all our friends here. I'd rather them be here. I don't like them out on the streets. It's too dangerous for them when they do get a little bit over the top. I know where they are.
Laura's friend, 17-year-old Lauren, is staying over tonight. She started drinking at 11.
Instead of like all walking home like dangerously in the dark, we'll just stop here tonight, won't we?
Yeah,
on
my
a
mum
weekend.
doesn't mind instead of staying on the streets.
So our mum says that she'd rather have when here drinking, so she knows she can keep an eye on me. She's like a mother to all when we're drinking. She's like a nurse now, isn't she?
I need a drink. Pass that drink up.
The more you tell them not to do something, the more they'll do it. So I've never ever told my daughter, don't go out drinking. I'd rather she sit in the house and have a drink with me, and I know that way I can control how much she's drinking. If she gets drunk, if she gets a bit tiddly, she knows where to go to her bed, and I know when to put her there.
As the party continues, some of the teenagers explain why they drink so much. 18-year-old Alex started drinking when he was 15 because he was being bullied.
When I started drinking more often, I was like, oh, my mum was going, why are you drinking? Why are you drinking? I go, because mum, like, I'm sick of getting bullied. That's why I'm drinking. Right? And she went, I am sorry that you're getting bullied. It's just like, drinking doesn't solve the problem and all that. I was going, well, mum, it does to me, because it makes me feel cool. When I have a drink the night before, I am still a bit drunk when I wake up, because I have drank that much, which is actually bad. And I thought, fuck, that is. I just need to stop. I just don't know how. Like, the way I'm talking now, right, is, like, I need help.
Alex isn't the only young person using alcohol to deal with stress and upset. Lauren's come straight to the party from her grandfather's funeral. She thinks drinking heavily will help her to cope.
Well, I started off at the pub today after my granddad's funeral. I thought, oh, well, a drink will help. So I had about 6 or 7 pints there with my family. And I've had a 3-litre bottle. But I've finished my 3-litre now, but I'll just go in and I'll pinch everyone else's without them knowing. It's been a horrible day, but a good day in a way. Like, I don't like feeling upset because I'm like a strong person and I'm the strong one out of my friends. I'm so used to telling people to like chin up that I build a brick wall for myself to get hurt or any like emotions coming out. So when I have a drink, it just seems to make that, it can either make that wall harder so I don't get affected by anything, or it can crash it straight down to where I've had too much and I'll just let everything out or I'd lose my temper. But I think that's for most people these days, like, drink loads, try and get rid of their young problems, because most people in the North East these days have always got a problem now. So I think, like, most young'uns these days just drink to be happy.
Mila says that she wants to keep Laura and her friends safe, but binge drinking carries its own risks. A report last year showed that the North East had the highest rates of adults exceeding the recommended daily drinking limits. Worryingly, teenagers seem to be copying adult drinking habits. An underage drinker in the North East is on average consuming 15.2 units a week. That's more than anywhere else in the country.
What, everyone just neck? Everyone go out in a circle. Len's vodka in a disguised bottle so the coppers can't pull us.
Wallace!
Wallace! People just fucking have a laugh, like.
Overlooking the River Tyne is yet another notorious underage drinking hangout. It's August bank holiday and 16-year-old Robin is out drinking with friends.
Well, we were just bored and had nothing to do and hardly any money, so we just thought we might as well just go out and see if anyone's out. I hate staying in because I get so agitated and I don't know, sometimes I like it, but most of the time I just like going out, like getting ready, going out straight away.
You've been drinking?
Yeah, but not much, like, so I don't really enjoy that. But that's all I had enough for. I mean, I just scavenged around the house for like £3 and you're sorted.
So what is it you're drinking?
It's Bella. It's like 7.5% and it's 1.5 litres. It's not the best thing to drink, like, it's actually not even that nice at all. But it's all right though. Oh. But I'll still drink it though, it's the cheapest thing to get.
Robin has been drinking with her mates for the last 3 years.
I was 13 and I just started drinking. We went to someone's house and we were drinking and like drinking far too much and I clapped out. I couldn't even remember hardly anything. I got my stomach pumping that. I woke up absolutely ill. I thought I was dying. Definitely drinking for the crack tonight.
That girl is some other poster. That girl is amazing. That girl is a gun to my holster. She's running through my mind all day.
I've got a red keep. So I just thought, we might as well just get a bottle of Bella and just find people who go out. So there's nothing at all. Like, what's there to do?
Do you like the area?
It's not the best. Well, I wanted to move away down to Lincoln with my dad, because like, he lives there, because I wanted to get away from here for a bit, but then when it come to it, I just couldn't be bothered to do it. My mum and him split when I was 6, so he moved away. Then I used to be dead close to him, I was close to him for years. He's still there for us. If I need money, he'll always give us it. Pays for me contract and that, it's selling really. I just want to get pissed with him really, and see if it's good or not.
Oh my God, this is a fucking killer, me. Damn, this is my jam. This is my jam. This be our shame. When you're gonna live your life right. Oh, daddy, please, you know you're still number one. And girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls, they wanna have fun.
That was Nick brought me drinking it. Pissed out me head.
After drinking for 3 hours, Robin and her mates head down to the local shopping precinct. It's where they always end their night.
It's like a story. I mean, you start somewhere and it always, no matter what, ends here every single time. Don't know how, but apparently everyone just thinks it's the place to be, really, definitely. I'm personality trait, that should even just give us it. Even though it's only a tiny bit, still get you hammered. Hammered! I don't want to go in, but I know everyone will be going in soon. I know I've got to be in soon.
The next day, Robin is tired and hungover.
Like, usually when I wake up, I'm like, why did I do it for? Is it worth feeling like rough as I do? Sometimes I wake up ill and I feel like I'm gonna spill my full body up. Like, with all my insides, it's horrible. When your head's all boxing, it's like, you're thinking about loads of stuff. I think it's like you just get pissed to like, forget about everything that makes you happier. And I think that's why people take it a bit too far sometimes. Like, if you're on a downer, get a bottle of Bella down your neck, and then that's it, you forget about everything. Then you wake up and feel, oh, God, and it's all back in your head. Then you do it again. Then you wake up again, and you just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it, and then you forget about it sooner or later. Like, school's stressing me out all the time. As far as I'm even turning into an alcoholic, yeah. It's just blagging my head. Even though I don't even go anymore, but just thinking about what to do next.
Robin's 23-year-old half-sister, Stephanie, is worried about Robin's drinking. She's had to live with the consequences of underage drinking and doesn't want Robin going the same way.
When I was younger, I did go out and drink, like every weekend. I think every weekend I went out and drank from like 14, I think. But I didn't drink loads. Like, I used to drink like 2 litres of wine, and not properly wine, like cheap wine, like Bella I used to drink, and I did used to get drunk, and I noticed like sometimes I'd get into situations and in the morning I'd regret everything I'd done. I'd think, what have I done? And you had to feel like you had to like get a boyfriend and do stuff. It felt really pressure to do stuff when you're younger, and otherwise you were known as like you weren't like fitting in with everyone else and no one wanted to like hang around with you. So I think I ended up like having sex at a really young age as well, through drinking, definitely. I don't think I would have done that if I didn't drink. Like, and I regret that now really badly. Like, I was pregnant at 15 and I had to have an abortion because obviously I was still in school and I was really young. I upset us really badly, but I think it was the best thing because I had my daughter at 17 and that was really hard, like, at that age. So I had to grow up obviously really fast to like look after a baby. But if I had a baby when I was 15, I don't think I could have coped. I really don't. definitely not. And I think that's through drink. It was definitely all through drink.
At 19, Stephanie had to deal with the loss of her boyfriend, who drank heavily from a young age. It's an incident that still upsets her today.
I was with my partner. He used to drink quite a lot when I was younger. I got with him when I was 15, and he did drink really every day. And it was just wine, like, you know, like just cheap wine, and he ended up drinking one night. He drank a litre of vodka, he drank a 2 litre of wine, and then he ended up taking tablets, which were blues. And subbies, I think they're called. Subutex, I'm not sure what they were. And like, I went down to his flat that day and found him dead on his bed. He drank from a really young age, really, really young. And he just couldn't stop. Like, I used to tell him all the time, Tony, you need to stop, but he didn't ever listen. He just kept drinking and drinking, and look what happened to him. And like, I don't think Robin realises, I've told her before that's what's happened to him, but I just didn't think it would happen to her. But it can happen to anyone.
Every 18 hours, someone in the region dies from an alcohol-related illness. And it's increasing amongst the young. In England, alcohol-related deaths amongst 15 to 34-year-olds rose by 75% between 1991 and 2011. The devastating effect of alcohol abuse is what drives youth workers to go out on the streets to try and stop underage drinking. Back in Sunderland, Phil has been trying to get the young group from the Barnes area into the centre, and he believes that sometimes it's about making a deal with the teens to get them to stop drinking.
When you first meet a group, as long as they haven't had a drink, you can sit down with them and you do planning. So we'll actually plan what we're going to do over the next 6 to 8 weeks, for example, with them. And within that 6 to 8 weeks, you have some fun things, so whether or not it's a trip to Whitewater Valley, Flamingo, Latin theme parks, things like that, you will put those into the plan. And young people have got to understand that they've got to be working towards that all of the time.
It's Saturday evening and he's heading out to see if he can persuade the group to come into the centre. But as he arrives, Phil spots one of the boys with a couple of cans and a bottle.
I'm not impressed, mate. You've upset me. Let me down, you like.
I'm holding it. I'm not drinking because I'm listening.
He's drinking.
What is it? I don't think it's legit, like. I think you've been stitched up. I wouldn't be drinking that. Someone, let's pour that one out. Can we pour that one out? Cos, look at that. Cos, look at that. It's, someone's madded up, man. It's
no, they haven't, man.
They have, man.
I just did. That's why I'm trying to run, so I'm drinking it. I don't want them saying.
I know, but you shouldn't be. Why have you went and done that?
It's only a little bit.
It's not, man.
It is.
You'll be a stronger person and pour it out.
Yeah.
Can I get rid of that?
Why?
Just get rid of it. Just pour it out.
Can I get rid of it?
No, pour it out. No.
Get rid of Ned.
Despite Phil's efforts, the boys ignore him and walk off with the drink.
Where are they getting it?
Apparently them have given a book.
What?
Yay!
Are you happy? Very.
No,
Put in the bin, though.
Put in the bin.
Phil suspects they still have more booze on them.
How much have I done for you over the last week? George,
Jordan's got it.
come here, mate.
I've got
Come here. I'm wasting my time, I'll just go on, mate.
I haven't drunk any, I swear.
Don't lie, I had a drink of mine.
It
stinks of alcohol.
I haven't even drunk any, man.
Right, how are you, Amy? You can forget about Whitewater Valley. Aye?
What do you see?
3 years later.
What? Oh, I just fucking blame it all on me. I think that's just half.
Yeah, it is for the lads. Disappointed with the lads. We'll have a think about it, but to be fair, we've been working towards taking them to Whitewater Valley. He's going to continue to repeat to continue drinking. Obviously, we're working towards them not drinking. I'm pretty disappointed with him.
Phil's had a difficult night, but the task of tackling underage drinking in the northeast has never been easy. In his 7 years of youth work, Phil has dealt with some hugely difficult cases, but it's never stopped him from trying to turn young people's lives around.
You only need a certain amount of mass to go up to the wall.
When Scott was 16, he was drinking 12 cans of beer a day.
First time I drank, I was about 14-year-old. I used to go to the shop, buy 12 cans, have them, and then that was me done for the night. The reason why I started drinking as a young kid was because, obviously, friends, peer pressure, felt a bit left out. All of them were drinking. Like, it looked as if they were having a good time, so I joined in with them.
Usually I would just either stop in the house or I'd be out with my friends drinking on the streets and stuff like that.
Scott used to shake when he hadn't had a drink. That was a bit of an eye-opener to see someone at that age that would shake.
Would you have classed him as an alcoholic?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have.
Danny? She and Chrissy?
When you've got alcohol dependency, even in an adult, it's hard to see light at the other side of the tunnel. In a young person, it's a lot more difficult.
I've got to the point where I was drinking pretty much every night by myself, so I used to sit in the house, get some cans in and just drink.
Alcohol's like a drug, isn't it? It's addictive. It's the drinks industry know what they're doing. It's made so you like it, so you become dependent on it. That's how they earn money. That's how they make big bucks. That's what it's about. It doesn't surprise us at all now that some young people do become dependent.
Phil gave Scott the support he needed to stop drinking.
Sometimes they do need to hit rock bottom to get a shock, to realise that their life can't go on like that. But sometimes people don't have to hit rock bottom. They just really have to find someone they can trust, someone they can confide in, someone they can talk to. In Scott's example, give him something. Give him something he was good at. Give him some responsibility. But set some boundaries and ground rules. That's exactly how we got through it with Scott.
Yeah, it's the best thing I've really done, starting to free run. It has changed my life completely. My weekend routine is to come here, train with these. Obviously, we do get some kids coming in asking us to learn and stuff, so we'll help them out, we'll learn them, show them how to do it, talk them through it, to do it safely without injuring themselves. It's the one thing I love to do, really. 4 years I've done it for, and I plan on carrying on doing it. Never quitting it.
If it wasn't for Phil helping us get this far, I think I would probably still be drinking now. Now it's like all about free running, push the drink out of it, try and avoid that. I don't think kids are actually aware of what it can actually do and affect their life. I think the way they see it is just a bit of fun on a weekend, but it can drag them further into it than that. They can leave themselves with no job, have no future, and just living on the drink.
Scott's not the only teenager who feels met drinking as heavily as he was. Recently, he had a 16-year-old girl at the centre who was drinking excessively.
And when we sat down with her and totted up the amount that she drank, it was shocking, and it shocked her. It actually shocked her enough into not doing it again. She was consuming 100 units of alcohol in a week. Absolutely astounding. I've never seen anything like that before. I haven't seen anything like that since. I hope I never ever have to. It makes you all the more determined when you do find people drinking very low levels of drinking, while you really have to nip it in the bud.
Although this was an extreme case, many underage drinkers can soon build up a tolerance. Some kids are starting so young that they can become dependent before they are legally allowed to drink. At last count, there were 320 16-year-olds or younger in treatment for alcohol dependency in the North East. In South Shields, 17-year-old Lauren has been drinking for 6 years. Her tolerance levels have increased as she's got older, and she has to drink more to feel the effects. She's round at her friend Laura's house for some drinking games.
Ring of fire or ring of death?
Ring of death. Ring of death.
Who's playing? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that's awful. I had to start drinking at 11-year-old, to show off in front of my friends to try and fit in.
2.
I got to eat out with that.
2. Who's gone?
Give us a second.
What, we're gone out?
I used to get drunk off like 1.25 for 1 litre. And then as the years have gone, it's like progressed of how much I drink. So I think that's how I can like handle my drink now compared to what I used to be do. Because I've drank for about 6 years now. Like I cannot remember the last time I went a weekend without no drink.
You're an asshole.
Like just under a full bottle of vodka to get me drunk. Just finished drinking. Oh, you're taking the piss out of me.
We don't stop drinking until we're like too drunk to drink, really. Like we drink until if we fall over, then I think that's enough.
Or they put me to bed and I still can't walk home.
More than 7 in 10 people in the region associate alcohol consumption with family breakdown. Many young people seem to be dealing with family difficulties by drinking.
Hey.
16-year-old Robin's been drinking almost every weekend over the summer. She's round at her half-sister Stephanie's house. Stephanie thinks that Robin's drinking is to do with her missing her dad since the breakup of her parents' relationship and with him moving to Lincoln.
I think I'm just used to. I mean, it's been 10 years now.
Do you wish he was here though? I do. Like,
I think it's.
I wish he was here, mate.
It's been 10 years, so I don't see what difference it makes. It's just normal.
I think he should come and see you more, actually.
I think it'd be good if he did come down a bit more often.
No. I really think she misses him. I think she just wants her dad back. Like when he does come down, he usually books a hotel, and she loves it. We'll love going like to stay with him and stuff. And she doesn't bother about drinking or nothing. Then she's absolutely fine. I think she might drink to get away from that. Like she might feel upset and she might feel happy when she has a drink. I think she's got a lot more hidden. Like she's just a really, like she's not an open person. Like she doesn't like sharing that with other people.
If I ever did have a kid, I'd want the dad to be around, because obviously if I ever needed help and I got tired looking after baby, wouldn't I? Yeah. Can I have a love?
Stephanie knows firsthand how drinking can leave girls vulnerable to dangerous situations, and she's been trying to get Robin to understand how risky her behaviour can be.
You know when you get really drunk,
yeah,
and you fall asleep places and people leave you,
yeah,
and you're left by yourself,
yeah,
in the middle of a field,
yeah,
what would you do if someone came along and like
knocked them out and then run home and go to bed?
You wouldn't be able to though, you don't think about it properly.
Right, has anything happened? No.
But
so,
it could though.
But it hasn't. I'll let you know when it does.
I used to be your age, exactly the same, when I was younger, so I'm trying to tell you to stick in. And
what?
Not drink.
And not drink?
Yeah, you're getting them states.
It was one time I got in them states because I was drinking
No,
absinthe.
Yeah, but you drink.
When was the last time I drank? No, when was the last time I drank?
Last weekend.
Right, and I didn't get one at any of them states. I was fine. Got home okay, I'm here now, aren't I? Nothing happened. Thank you.
No, I'm being serious. I just think that you shouldn't drink as much as what you do when you're out. You don't even know that you're drunk. Like you ring me, you go, I'm really sober. And you're really drunk, and I'm like...
Every teenager loves drinking, okay?
But why? What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it?
A howl, a complete scream out of it, that's what. A howl.
Being so young, it's hard sometimes for teenagers to realise that regular drinking can affect their health. Starting younger and drinking more, the damage can be done early on. The North East is currently witnessing a 300% increase in alcohol-related liver disease in 30 to 34-year-olds. 20 years ago, the disease would typically be found in 50 or 60-year-olds. The challenge for youth workers is convincing young teenagers to think about the long-term effects of alcohol. It's nearly 2 weeks since the drinking incident outside Barnes Park. But Phil's got some good news. The group have agreed to come up to the centre.
Someone's left the door open. I slammed it. So, got a deal for you. Tomorrow, obviously, you know, it's the launch date of Horton Feast, so that's when they do, like, the parade and the roasting of the ox, fireworks, the fair. Then there's a deal, though. The deal is, obviously, is come here on the Saturday night. We'll pick you up, you come here, and the lads help us with finishing that gym and setting it up, right? So we'll do something fun tomorrow night, and then on Saturday you can help finish off that gym. Just for us.
Just for Uncle Phil.
So you're happy with that? Stop calling us Uncle Phil.
It's real progress for Phil. It feels like the group is starting to engage with him.
What time shall I pick us up? Where else?
The following night, they all head to Houghton Feast. Rewarding the group and keeping them off the streets is working.
My belief for this particular group is they deserve that. They've made the effort, they've come, they've stuck with us. And I've got commitment that they'll come on Saturday night, and that again keeps them off the street on that Friday and Saturday night. The worst possible time where peer pressure could potentially lead them to do things that we wouldn't want them to do. Are you frightened?
No,
Of nothing?
I'm not frightened.
I'm too old to do this.
Growing up, Phil wasn't all that different from the kids he's helping today, and he knows the value of putting faith in young people.
I was naughty, though, and I was through school. I think I got excluded a few times from school for different things that I did. There was no one on the side of me as a young person. That's it. My parents did, and parents stuck by us. But once you'd done that once, that was it. It was whenever there was something the matter, it was the finger was always pointed at you. That's why I do it. It's young people that need that extra little step and that extra little help. One question for you, right? Answer us honestly. Is this better than being in Barnes Park?
Yeah.
There you go. Result. But can you say that what we've been trying to do with you, so by doing things, having a laugh, doing things exciting, showing that there is an alternative on a Friday and Saturday night, because there isn't there? Yeah. And we can do all sorts of things.
For Phil, keeping the group off the street for one night is a step in the right direction, but making sure they come back night after night is going to be a big challenge.
You're welcome. I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
Over at Stephanie's, Robin's having a night in. Even though it's Friday, she's not going out drinking with all her friends. She seems surprised that she's actually enjoying her night in.
You farted?
No, I was just free up there.
Do you miss it, like that, drinking?
Not really.
Not bother you?
No. Because, I mean, if I wanted to really do it, I could. Do you know what I mean? You just have to find things to do, but I'd rather be sitting with you, having a howl, and being warm and comfy, and there's a toilet. Go and put the kettle on and back. We'll sit here reading the Gazette. We'll have a game of bingo.
I think it's better.
Back at the centre, Phil and his team are checking September's attendance figures.
768.
768 different young people have been in here. It's amazing.
It's over 3 times the numbers they had in during July. It's clear how important the facility is for local teenagers.
Absolutely brilliant. It's a shame we couldn't do that much more across the city of Sunderland. But we shall see. We shall see.
The Barnes group are sticking to the bargain and are in the centre helping Phil with the gym.
As part of the renovations of the centre, we always involve the young people in it. And it helps them to believe that this is theirs as well, which it naturally is. It's their environment. And if you're helping them to do all of the things, taking part in the renovations, the activities, they become more accustomed to respecting the place. All the hard work paid off, at least you can say it's yours. Not the light out. Once a young person is tarred with a brush, sometimes it sticks with them, and it's about someone standing up and defending them young people as well. To say, hold on a minute, let's put things into perspective. Let's say what they really have done and fight the corner if they need someone to fight the corner. Coming up tomorrow?
Aye.
What time?
I don't know.
Let's say 6:30. We'll come up a bit earlier.
I've done my part of the job.
Did you?
Pick
You
the
did a
bag
good
up.
job as well. Result. I've been working with them closely for about 6 weeks now. I think that says it all. You know you've done something right when I've never getting something like that before, and I think thank you so much. All signed it. I'm immensely proud that they think we've made a difference to their lives, and I can keep saying I think I have, and I have, but when you get something like that, I think you know you have.